If you're not feeling good, you want to try this chicken soup. Inside you have some chicken bouillon, crushed red peppers, oregano leaves, sage, and have some carrot tops, thymes, rosemary, black pepper, parsley, cumin, and cayenne if you like heat. And we're going to add some fresh vegetables. Have some onions, celery, carrots, kale, fresh garlic. As you can see, I cut these up really thin. I personally don't like real soup that has chunky vegetables in them. That's just my preference. I don't know, texture is everything. Now, when I peel my onions, I kind of like to just take that first thick layer off. Right in the beginning, I cut right here, and then I peel it off. And that kind of helps with the tearing up of the eyes. With the kale, I just like to remove all these stems, you know, the thick stems. And then I just chop this up almost to like a thicker parsley or size or something. As you can see. Yes, I went outside in the snow, got the thyme out, dehydrated 200, and this is what I got. Don't forget to keep some type of pan or bowl so that you can throw your scraps in and make it easy for cleanup. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you take the chicken legs, pull that flat fat, I won't be nasty, and then you want to make sure you scrape this thing. And all I do is I take it and I pull the skin in that bowl that you kept for your leftover veggie scraps, and you just reuse that. It just makes your cleanup easier. But you want to make sure too, like I sit there and I make sure I kind of like rub it off, and then I clean it. So clean your chicken. Chicken is important. I only use 3 of them. I don't eat meat, but I do like the flavor of it. And then I add in some chicken breast. I just season this with all the herbs, nothing that's going to add sodium to it. I don't really know if it's a purpose, but for whatever reason, I do it. As you can see, I literally only put a little bit of canola oil. Okay, so in here is 3 chicken legs. I do that for the purpose of broth. And then I cook a couple pieces of chicken breast. And as you can see, these are cut little squares. I don't like mine too thick, but I use scissors. I just think it's easier. And then I add these into the pot. Okay, so as you can see, these are not like really brown. It really doesn't matter about browning. I throw away the skin anyway. Just don't really like, I like to really boil it without a little bit of brown. So, I don't know, it's just a preference. And then I'll be adding my water, and then I'll add in my veggies, and then I'll add in my seasoning. Now wait till I show you. I got some time literally cooking in the oven. I'm dehydrating it. Dehydrate it at 200 or less, because I want it to time. Now, as the water does evaporate and I recook it, I do add more water to it. A bunch of herbs and spices. So that's my parsley. Do a little bit of oregano leaves, not too much. This is actually carrot tops. So the thing about carrot tops, I use it for my teas when I drink, but I actually like it in my soup. And these are from the carrots that I grew in my yard. And so you don't want to just buy them from the store because you don't really know pesticides or anything, and it doesn't do you any nutritional value if you're just throwing on something that has a bunch of pesticides on. So this is rosemary, cumin. Now, literally, I would get really heavy with some crushed pepper and some cayenne, especially cayenne, because to me, you really need that heat to make you feel better. Actually, if you have a fever, having hot foods, spicy foods is actually good because it actually will cool down your body, which is opposite what most people think. But because I'm recording this video myself, I'm going to need 2 hands to do my pepper. And okay, so I put in some crushed peppers. I'm going to put a little bit of sage in there. I don't have any fresh sage. And next is going to be my chicken bouillons. I love this brand. Just so happens to me it's like my favorite. I like the flavor. I'm extremely generous with this. This to me is where, well, one, where you get your sodium, and in my mind, sodium is actually good if you don't feel good because the salt helps dry you up. But every single ingredient that I put in here has a purpose. So there's nothing that does not have a purpose. But if you're a person who cannot have sodium, then obviously you don't want to, you could just actually just have the chicken broth that it makes its own stock. That's why I use the legs. And I'm going to throw in my vegetables. And then I just will put the lid on this, slowly keep adding some water to it. I actually have more time in the oven, so who knows, I might add a little bit more. Thyme is actually good for your respiratory system, so there's, like I said, everything has a purpose in this. And I am just going to try to cover up the meat. And then I'm going to let it cook. Like I said, I'm going to start making the rice. Sometimes what I do, it looks like there's a lot of oil in here, but sometimes I will add in a little olive oil, just a little bit in here. Again, like I said, everything I add is for a reason, so. And it's not like I do much, I just do a couple of drops. I'm actually going to add some more broth. Like I said, I like the sodium. I think what's throwing me off too is I'm used to putting in all my cayenne and stuff like that, and I have not yet. And the reason, like I said, is I probably will share this with someone, and I don't think that really sits well with them. I definitely put a lot of thyme, and I don't know if it's because it was fresh thyme. It's kind of a little strong on there, so I am going to add like just a little bit more of my carrot tops to it. And I just have a feeling, and maybe because I love getting a little sodium, I know it's probably it. Again, this is how I like mine. What I like to do here is cut off the skin, discard it, and you want to get it out just before the bones start coming off because they will end up in the soup. Okay, so I'll say it took from the time I put the water in the pot, it's probably been about 2 hours and 45 minutes. And then basically I'll put this over rice. Like I said, I end up adding some cayenne and some crushed peppers just to the actual meal itself, I should say, to the rice, because that's something I normally have a lot of it in here. I like a lot of heat. But this actually came out very good. The one thing I would say is that the following day I was able to add additional water and stretch out that broth due to how much bullion I put in there. That was a lot of sodium. You didn't taste it the first day, but the second day, just sitting in there. So that's just something to keep in mind when you doctor it for your own liking.